Week 0 in college football just took place, and what in the hell happened to the ACC? As every single dog covers here in Week 0 in the college football season. Florida State, I talked about Florida State. I said I didn't love the team. I took the over. I didn't love it. I don't love DJU. I said DJU's already struggled in this conference in the ACC. And now he goes to a Florida State team where it was the same DJU. And there's people on Twitter, online, that were kind of surprised in how DJU played. And that's how DJU's played his whole career. Can't throw the ball over the middle. Trying to run too much in spots where he doesn't really need to run. And ultimately, it cost Florida State the game. Now, how much stock do we put into this game, right? Is Georgia Tech really legit? I'm going to say no as of right now. I bet this team's under 5, which may now look dead in the water, but opens the door for a team in Miami who their over 9 win total was my favorite win total of the season. I don't think Florida State's in contention to win an ACC title, but I don't think we should overreact to this game. This game was in Ireland at the end of the day, and these college teams don't have preseason. So it's hard to put a lot of stock in this team. This is a team with a lot of transfers, and I think they're still trying to figure out what they can do and what they can't do, especially on the offensive side of the ball, as in like a team like Georgia Tech already knew what they were going to do, already knew what they wanted to do. And I think that, in the end, was the difference in this game. Ultimately, Florida State has to find a way to back its back now, and I think it's going to be very hard for them to get into an ACC title game, to get into the college football playoffs. And unfortunately, DJU is just not the guy to get a team there. He failed at Clemson. He did okay for expectations at Oregon State, but the expectations weren't that crazy at Oregon State. And now he ultimately fails in his Week 0 start here for Florida State. The other two games, notable games that took place Week 0, it was just bad teams blowing leads, and that's what bad teams do. You had New Mexico blow a lead, one of the worst FBS teams, and you had Nevada blow a lead, which is one of the worst FCS teams. And again, we saw an ACC team struggle in SMU, a newly put in ACC team in SMU. I think people were overhyping SMU. It takes at least a year for a team coming from a group of 5 to come into the Power 4 now to really be seen as a Power 4 powerhouse. It's not going to happen in a snap of a finger. I think that's way too big of a jump to give a team. This is a team now that has the branding of a Power 4 conference, but the essence of the team is probably still a group of 5 team. And I think we're going to have to take time to see SMU make a leap into really being a dominant group of 5 Power 4 team, especially when a win total of 8.5. I think now if this team gets to 8 wins, that would be really good. That's a good season. But 9-3, I don't see any way an SMU team gets to 9-3. I haven't checked their updated win total, but looking at that and maybe trying to get a sprinkle on that under, if it's still pretty high, it probably went down to 7.5. But if it's still 8.5, I think that's a good place to look already for an under here. As SMU had to rely on them just being better talent-wise to beat that Nevada team. And that's only going to get you so far, especially when you play teams that now are also Power 4 talent level. You versus one of the worst group of 4 teams in college football, right? And again, I could say the same argument that maybe we're putting too much stock into this one game. These teams don't play preseason. This is a team in SMU that has a lot of expectations coming in. So does Florida State, and this is a team now that has a new conference, right? There's a lot at stake for SMU, and maybe they just cracked a little bit under the pressure, and maybe they're still trying to figure out what they can and cannot do on the offensive side of the ball. Ultimately, they won the game, I think, because Nevada doesn't know how to close out games. And ultimately, Montana State, I think, won their game because New Mexico doesn't know how to close out games, right? And that's what bad teams do. They lose close games when it comes down to it in the end. And that's what happens. Hawaii game, who cares? It's Hawaii. They won, didn't cover. All 4 dogs covered. We won both our bets. Under in the Florida State-Georgia Tech game, it was close at one point. First quarter was close, and after that, it slowed down. We were good. And Nevada plus 27.5, never a doubt with that one, as Nevada almost walks away with a win, but they can't close it out in the end. That's my week 0 recap. We got week 1 coming. I'll have some matchup preview videos probably coming out soon, maybe on Friday. Friday morning probably. If you like the video, please hit the subscribe button. If you want more college football stuff, go check out the channel. There's a lot of win totals, the whole everything. I just released the SEC win total video on the channel today, so go check that one out. I'm Josh Wissey. Thank you.